Dear viewers, welcome back in our program Islam in the Contemporary World, and our participants, Mr. Behram Avari. You were talking about culture and its effective approach to the community. So would you share your experiences?
Culture starts at home. Culture starts with the mother. What is taught by the mother goes on for the rest of your life. The Christians say that give us, Christian monks say, give us a child till he's 9 and he'll be ours for life. Those 9 years are the most impressive when you give culture. You teach them to pray, you teach them to respect, you teach them to love, you teach them to say thank you, you teach them to say please.
Yeah.
You teach them humanity, you teach them love, affection. If you don't give affection, they don't know how to give you affection.
Exactly.
So it is like an animal. I've got 4 dogs. And when they came, they didn't know who was who, even as puppies. But we gave affection, so affection came. So they're like children. You give affection, affection will come to you. So the thing is that you give culture from the house. The problem is that the mothers nowadays don't have that culture. They were not given that culture for them to pass it on.
So you think that today's society is running without culture?
I don't say it's running without culture. I'm saying that the problem about children going on the loose, children going for guns, children going for stealing, children going for gali galoch, for swearing,
abusing,
or not having respect. If somebody walks into the room, they don't get up, they don't have tamiz, they don't have the
behavior, manners,
the pattern, the feeling, humanity. They don't have the.
So how would you bring back to like peaceful life and mannerful communication? What is the best option? What is the best way to convey them?
What Gungwani Sahib said, education started from school. Get the parents involved. In school, the parents should be involved, so that the mother goes to see what's happening. The mother automatically gets that input. That's all. This is Gungwani Sahib's main thing of the home and education.
Mr. Gungwani, you might have noticed one thing, that while your age group, when it started interaction with parents, their style of communication, the parents' style of communication with the kids or youngsters was a bit different. But nowadays we mark or we observe that our kids, our youngsters, they don't properly going for the cultural norms, and they are not having their proper concentration to groom with proper manners and to pay respect to seniors or parents or neighbors. What is the major reason? You think it is materialistic approach, or?
The main thing is that the parents, they don't give time to their children.
Okay.
Because you see, nowadays, even the mothers, they are working mothers. They don't have a time to spare for their children, to teach them. And father also, the whole day he goes on the job, and the evening he sits with the friends. And so the children, they get, you see, on their own line, whatever they learn from the neighborhood or other students or someone else, they don't get the proper training at the home. So as Avari Sahib said, that the first training comes from the mother.
Actually, home is a basic institution.
Yes.
Which creates your whole culture.
Yes.
And mother is most important personality.
Yes.
I must say that she is trustee of our generations.
Yes.
So how our today's mothers should go for conventional approaches, and how to make up minds of our youngsters?
Today's mother, I tell you, that they don't have even time to spare for their children at the home. Early in the morning, they leave the children at the disposal of ayahs, and they go for their jobs.
You mean like for daycare center,
yes,
or some other stuff?
Yes, and in the evenings, they have chit-chat with their friends. So they have very little time to spare for the children. And that's why I tell you, the relation of love between the mother and child has decreased. Because child has become more dependent on ayah than his mother. And the ayah has not enough knowledge or you see enough better sense to teach the cultural values to the boy.
So you think because of they are preoccupied and they are busy, that's why they are a bit away from religion. So you have seen so many societies. How did you compare, or how do you compare all these societies and get some fruitful results from societal activities and norms, interaction and conventional approaches? To me, I think that I know a bit about your family. So your sons, they love you so much, and naturally every son and daughter they love. But the major thing is that, did you play some role, because you are preoccupied, you are a businessman, and you most of the time you're away from country. But how did you teach them to respect parents?
My wife, mother, they say ma. The word ma is in every single country in the world. It's called ma. Whether it's in Pakistan, in Urdu, in English, in Hindi, in French, in German, ma. Ma is ma. You know, it's a mother, a mummy, but they say ma. Ma do this, ma do that. It is ma who sets this culture. Because she teaches that there is one God. All religions, all cultures have one thing. But it's a question of whether you catch a ear from here, you catch it from here. But every religion teaches good thoughts, good words, good deeds, to do good.
Obviously,
no religion teaches kill.
Or hatred, no.
But this is hatred, spite, hurt, no. So it is that culture which is put into the brain of the child. So in the future, he reacts like that.
And Islam, talking about Islam, I believe it is very common that respect for humanity is a true religion and culture. While we forget this message from Quran or from Bible or from some other books, so it means that we have not committed true meaning of our life. We are away from that. Dear viewers, we are going for a short break. We'll be coming soon. We would request you to kindly be with us. Welcome back in our program, Islam in the Contemporary World. And today's topic of discussion is very interesting. It's about intercultural communication, a bridge among nations. So, talking about the culture, Mr. Gungwani, you might have observed that our youngsters, they are full of energy. They are educated, but still they are in search of something. You think, what is
this? Actually, I tell you, this is a frustration. That's why they are in search of something. Actually, I tell you that the culture has no parameter, no language. And today's child, today's youth is a frustrated youth, because he has no teaching in the house, and unfortunately in school also he has no teaching. And when he goes to the college, most of the time he gets involved with such people, such friends, which are not having any good humor or good sense. So the majority of the boys, when they get spoiled, they get frustrated. So what is the end? And they don't find any end. And there is nobody to teach them to come back on the track. They want to come back on the track, but nobody teaches them to come back on the track.
Don't you think if there is like continuous counseling, and the counselors who are responsible to upgrade cultural norms and to curtail such sort of feelings which are disturbing society, So if counselors, if they are performing their proper duties, and parents, they are taking care of feelings of their kids or their boys and girls and family, then there would be a comprehensive, a beautiful style of communication, and intercultural communication would work for humanity. Do you think
Of course, of course. Counseling is the best mode of teaching the cultural values to the youth. At any stage, whether he is a child, or he is a grown-up student, or he is the student in the college, if the counselor is a real counselor, and the boy or whatever you call him, girl, they are being counseled properly, they will grasp the knowledge, and then there will be no frustration among them. But it again depends upon the counselors. If you get a bad counselor, that will tarnish your image.
Yeah. And Mr. Avari.
But if you don't mind,
Yeah, please.
I'll give you a very good example as what Gungwani Sahib said about counselor.
Why should I mind about counseling?
No,
I'm in
because
support of
it may be slightly off the subject, but the thing was that everybody knows that things happen in Pakistan and in Karachi. So a family member's house was attacked at 4 o'clock in the morning. In order to give them the strength to come back again and face this horrid thing which went on for 3 hours, my wife suggested they go to a counselor. As Gungwani Sahib said, they went to the counselor. The counselor said, oh, this happened to you. They'll be coming every week. Now, that is the type of counselor you don't want. I had to take the family members and send them on a holiday outside Karachi for 10 days. So this is exactly what Gungwani Sahib said. If the counselor is not right, it's not going to work.
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Also, with that same counselor, what Gungwani Sahib said about frustration, it's also frustration for the educated youth of not getting jobs. You must create jobs. If you educate them, you must give them jobs to fit that education. They were making roads. They weren't educated. Today, it's an educated youth. They need jobs of IT, of things like that to get their frustration out. The same way as you're talking about culture, see, I'll give a simple example because it makes my mind think. What is the culture for tea in Pakistan? From the time we were in college, we used to go for doodh patti chai, which meant milk, tea put in there, water, and cooked. And it was caramelized, cook, doodh patti chai. Now, you go to France, and they'll put the tea in, and they'll put the milk in. That's the second culture. Now you go to England, and in England, they put the milk in first. After they put so much milk, then they pour the tea. Now, this is also an education which can show the culture. So that not that a man says, oh, what are you doing? Are you crazy? How are you serving tea? No. So this is also culture.
Yeah.
That the different cultures on a simple basic thing like tea, how it is different. You know?
I think like in the Western world, while they are in front of other people, they smile. They are known to either they are known or unknown. They smile and they must say hi, hello, good morning, good evening, how are you doing, without knowing that this person is not known to me. And same is in Islam. Islam says Assalamu alaikum. And in other religion, they also have words of love to have interaction with different cultures. So unfortunately, we are forgetting these basic norms of culture. And why? Because we are preoccupied, or we have level of anxiety and depression, or we are always involved in our thinking, oh, I should go here and there to make money or to go for such activities. So we are putting all these things behind and we are moving towards materialistic approach. So the culture is being dominated by financial gain. That's why we don't see any healthy atmosphere in the world.